Hello and welcome to my Splits for Beginner yoga routine. In today's class we'll look at a variety of stretches to help improve your splits. I would advise practicing this yoga routine every day for as often as you can. It's better to go slowly and steadily through this program rather than trying to force any deep stretch, because then you'll cause injury. So really take your time and go slowly. We'll start on your back, so take a moment and find a comfortable position lying on your back. We'll draw the right knee into the chest and just pause here, just stretching. Gently lower the leg down and we'll draw the left knee in. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose at the moment, and then very gently release. And we'll draw both knees into the chest and rock from side to side, just massaging the back, massaging the hips. And we'll take hold of a strap, so you can either use a belt or a scarf, and we'll bring it around the sole of the right foot. Straighten the heel up towards the ceiling. Just pause for a moment, just observing where you feel the stretch. We're going to take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bend the knee, and imagine you want to draw the knee towards the armpit. Inhale, straighten the leg, and exhale, draw the knee to the armpit. Again, inhale, stretching up, and exhale, bending. Inhale, stretching, and exhale, bending. I'm going to pause here. If you can reach the outside of your foot, we're going to hold the outside of your foot. It's a variation of half happy baby pose. So this is stretching the back of the thigh. And from here again, we're going to work on bending and straightening the leg. So working with your own breath, inhaling as you straighten the leg and exhaling as you bend. Holding the strap and pushing away the heel to also stretch around the back of the calf. Nice slow breathing, just pausing, observing where you feel the stretch. Try and encourage the muscles to soften and to relax with the breath. So again, the more you practice this routine, I'd recommend practicing it daily, very gently, and then you're more likely to see improvements than trying to force any deep stretch. And then we'll straighten the leg. So holding each side of the strap, pushing away the heel. You're going to just support the back of the leg and point and flex the foot. So keep breathing nice and slowly. And then circling the ankle in one direction. And then gently circling in the other direction. And then pointing the toe and push away the heel, and point the toe and just pausing, pushing away the heel. And then again, you can bring your strap around the ball of your foot, or you may be able to reach the outside of the foot, and we're going to bend and straighten the legs. So depending on what stage you're at, you can hold the strap or hold the outside of the foot. Now we're going to hold the leg just by the side of the body, but really try and push the heel up towards the ceiling. Just pausing, inhaling and exhaling through the nose, using the breath to soften and relax the muscles. Nice slow breathing. And you can even massage the back of the thigh with the hand if it helps to relax the back of the thigh. You can hold the calf when we're bending and straightening again. So you'll notice you have one leg which is more flexible than the other. But just pausing and observing. So trying to encourage the muscle in the hamstrings to soften, relax, a self-massage. A few more breaths, keep breathing. Often the longer you're in a pose, the more the body softens and relaxes. We'll lower that leg down, and we'll do the same in the other side. So bringing your belt or your strap now around your left foot up to the ceiling, and then we'll very gently bend the knee, draw the knee towards the armpit, pushing the heel up to the ceiling, and bend and straighten the legs. So remembering inhale, stretch the leg up to the ceiling, and exhale, bending as you lower. Going as fast or as slow as feels comfortable. So it's often good to practice the stretch routine after a more active yoga practice or active exercise to have the body nice and warm, or you can practice it on its own. Just observing where you feel the stretch on this side, now holding the stretch. Nice slow breaths. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And now we'll inhale, unhook the strap, straighten the leg up, take behind the back of the thigh, and we'll point the toe and push away the heel a few times. So stretching the top of the foot, the back of the calf. So just warming up the body nice and slowly, circling the ankle in one direction and then changing into the other direction. And then either taking hold of the strap or the outside of the foot, wherever is accessible for you today, and then we'll bend and straighten the leg again. So this is helping the hamstring muscles to relax on the back of the body. And we'll pause here, encouraging the heel up and away from the hip. Pausing, nice slow breathing. And then we'll straighten and bend the leg again. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose, nice and slow. So this is a 30-minute class. If you're very dedicated, I'd recommend doing this class every day or as often as you can, a few times a week. But the more you practice, the more results you'll notice. Then we'll bring the hands onto each knee and circle the knees, so making big circles, pushing the knees away from the chest, open and bring them back round to the chest. And then we'll change direction, opening the knees, pushing them away and draw them together and back towards the chest. Just relaxing this body for the moment. Draw the knees into the chest and very gently come onto your right hand side, pause and come up and find a position on your knees. So you can either bring some towels, some blankets. I'm using some blocks to rest my knees on just to protect the knees. So whatever feels comfortable, or you can fold up your mat, and I'd recommend using 2 smaller blocks for support. So having the right knee bent, checking the hips are directly above the knee with the left leg straight. We'll take a breath in. As you exhale, bend the left knee and pause here for a moment in dragon, checking your knee is directly above the ankle. If it's not, push the foot forward. Inhale, coming up, and exhale again, lowering. Nice and slow, steady movements. Inhale as you come up, and exhale, gently lower, just resting the weight on your thighs. Inhaling and exhaling. And then we'll pause, having a little stretch. You can bring your hand to rest on the block for a bit more support. Or you can use a small table or something just to keep your balance. Just pausing, observing where you feel the stretch. So this is stretching on the back of the hamstrings, on your left leg and on the front of your right thigh. Inhaling, coming up. Now checking again that your hips are above your bent knee. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, you can use the blocks at different height. We're coming into a forward fold. So taking a breath in and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, looking up, flat back, and exhale, gently lower. And now pause here for a moment again, or you can bring your hands onto the floor. Nice slow breathing, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Just observing where you feel the stretch. Now as you inhale, very gently supporting your weight of the body onto the blocks, slowly come up, or re-bend the left knee, coming back into dragon. Inhale, straighten the leg, and exhale, re-bend the knee. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, bend. Inhale, straightening, and exhale, bend. So I'll bring the blocks on the inside of the leg, and then just resting the weight on the blocks just for a moment. So lifting the chest, looking forward. So nice, slow, subtle moves. You can lower onto one block if that feels more comfortable, or you can bring your hands onto the floor at this stage. So just observing what feels better for your own body. Always remember to listen to your own body and what feels comfortable for you. Now, making this into a little flow to warm up the muscles. You're going to inhale, come up. Exhale, rebend the knee. Inhale, straighten the leg, and exhale, come into a forward fold. Inhale, slowly come up. Exhale, rebend your left knee. Inhale, straighten the left leg. And exhale, come into a gentle forward fold. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, rebend the left knee. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, come into a gentle forward fold. So working with your own breath. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, gently bending your left knee. Inhale, straightening the left leg. And exhale, gently come into a forward fold. Inhale, come back up. And exhale. Just pausing this time, bringing the blocks on the inside. We can lower, you can either keep your hands on the arms straight, you can lower onto the blocks at different heights, or you can bring the elbows to resting on the floor. So whichever feels comfortable. Keeping the left knee so it's touching the left shoulder, don't allow it to open out to the side. Just pausing here for a few breaths. Observing where you feel the stretch. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Now to change the stretch very slightly, come onto the outside edge of the foot, take hold of the knee with the left hand and look towards the left hand, opening the knee out to the side. So nice slow breathing in and out through the nose. Observing how this changes the stretch. Support the leg, draw it back in, very slowly making your way out, bringing the blocks closer to you. And then straightening the leg, we'll come into a forward fold, but hold this position a bit longer. So checking the hips are above the bent knee, take a breath in, and as you exhale, just rounding the back and lowering down here. So you can stretch your arms up out in front of you if that helps to stretch the upper back. Just for a moment, and then we'll inhale, rebend the knee. We'll bring the foot slightly closer underneath you to support your weight. Check that you've got support with the blocks, and we'll bend the right knee this time to stretch the front of the right leg. If you can't touch your foot, don't worry, we're gently working towards taking hold of the foot, otherwise holding the foot and drawing the heel towards the hip. So it's very important that you have something under your knee as support. Nice slow breathing. Very slowly relax the foot down. And we'll pause here again just for a moment. You can heel toe your left foot further away from you if that helps, or you can bring the blocks to help with more balance. So nice slow breathing. Inhaling and exhaling, observing where you feel the stretch more, the back of the left thigh or the front of the left thigh. Releasing the leg down very gently. We'll now come either onto the blocks with your forearms. You can come onto different heights of the blocks, or you can come to your elbows on the floor, and we'll bend the knee one more time. And you can either take a strap around your foot or ankle, or you can hold the right foot with the left hand. Depending on how much flexibility you have, very gently release. And then we'll very gently come into pigeon. So removing the block underneath your right knee or the towel, checking that the kneecap is facing down, untucking the toes. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, very gently lowering down. So always remembering in pigeon, it's very important to have the weight evenly distributed in the hips, that you're not bringing the weight onto the hip of your bent leg. Pausing here, stretching, nice slow breathing. This is a nice gentle resting position, but also stretching. Observe where you feel the stretch. You feel a stretch on the outside of your left hip or on the front of your right leg. Just one or two more breaths. And then very slowly now on your next breath in, starting to fill the lungs up. We'll come back onto the forearms. Very slowly coming up. We're going to rebend the right knee. And again, if you can't hold the foot, we can stretch towards the foot. We can take hold of the foot. And if you have the flexibility, we're going to very subtly encourage the heel towards the hip. So very, very gently, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Pause for a few breaths, and then very gently release, tuck under the toes and lower the leg down. Support the weight of your body will lift up, and we'll come into a downward facing dog to relax the legs. So bending one leg and the other, relaxing the legs. So pointing the toes, just stretch around the toes as well as the hamstrings, the back, the hips. Nice slow breathing. And then we'll do the same in a moment all on the other side. So we'll come into a forward fold. So having the feet underneath the hips, you can bend and straighten the legs. So you can hold the back of the legs to encourage a deeper stretch, but really listen to your own body. So by bending and straightening the legs, you're encouraging a very gentle release and stretch. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose, and then very gently lower down. We'll bring the blocks or the rolled up towel or blanket for your knees, and we'll do all of the same on the other side. So taking hold of your smaller blocks, bending your right knee with the sole of the foot onto the ground. So checking that when you bend and lower, that the ankle is below the knee. So bending and straightening the leg, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So working with your own rhythm, bending and straightening your right leg, observing nice and slowly the difference. So just pausing for a moment here, just resting on the bent knee. Does it feel any different from the other side? So remember not to criticize, but just to observe. Often we have one side of the body that is more open than the other. And then we'll bring the hip above the knee and lower. So lifting and lowering, just relaxing and stretching the legs. And then we'll bring the hip above the left knee with the right leg straight. We'll take a breath in and exhale, coming down. So you can have your blocks at different heights, or you can bring your hands to rest on the floor, whatever feels comfortable. Nice slow breathing. Just pausing for a moment. And then very slowly, when you're ready, going to inhale, push your hands into the floor, supporting the weight of the body. Bring your hands back onto the blocks, slowly come up, and exhaling, bending the knee into dragon. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose as you bend and straighten your right leg. Always checking that the right knee doesn't go over the toes of the right foot. So by bending and straightening a few times, you're helping to relax the muscles and warm up the body. And we'll bring the hands on the inside of the right leg, the hands onto the blocks, just pausing here, observing how the body feels. Nice slow breathing. And then we'll bend and straighten the legs. We're coming into our little flow. So coming into a forward fold, inhale, exhale, bend the knee, inhale, come back up, exhale, come into a forward fold with a straight leg. Inhale, slowly come back up, exhale, rebend the right knee, inhale, straighten the right leg, and exhale into our forward fold. Inhale, when you're ready, gently come back up, exhale, rebend the right knee, inhale, coming back up, and exhale into our forward fold. Inhale, coming back up, exhale, rebend the knee, inhale, coming up, straightening the leg, and exhale into our forward fold. Inhale, slowly come up, exhale, rebend the right knee. We'll bring the blocks on the inside and rest either on the blocks, or you can bring the weight onto the elbows, onto the blocks at different heights, or onto the floor. Again, check that your right knee is touching your right shoulder or the side of the body. It's not falling open to the side, pausing here. So sometimes it's good to take a photo of yourself when you are doing the splits, so you can remember how far that you've come, and take a date of it. And we'll come onto the outside edge of the knee, bringing your right hand onto your right knee, looking towards the knee, and observing where you feel a stretch here, changing the stretch very slightly, 1 or 2 more breaths. And then on your next breath in, support the knee, bring it back into the center. Very slowly make your way up, taking hold of the blocks, and we'll exhale, come into a forward fold. So checking the hips are roughly above the left knee. You can bring your hands onto the blocks or onto the floor. Nice slow breaths, and remember again, you can straighten the arms and stretch around the upper back for an upper back stretch. And then supporting the weight of the body, bring the foot in very slightly to have balance. We're going to bend the left knee. So again, remember you can hold the hand just as it is. You can bring a strap around it if you can't reach the foot. And eventually we'll very gently encourage the heel towards the hip. Pausing just for a moment, you might notice a big difference from one side to the other. And then very gently, when you're ready, lower the foot down. Adjusting the blocks if you need to. We'll bring the smaller blocks on the inside of the legs. You can rest your forearms on the blocks at different heights, or if you have the flexibility, you can bring the forearms on the floor. Bend the left leg and take hold of either a strap or the foot if you can reach, and just pause here. Nice slow breathing. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Remember, by slowing down the breath, you encourage the body to soften and to relax. 1 more breath in, we'll exhale very gently, nice and slowly, lower the leg down. Support the weight of the body coming back up. We'll remove the blocks to come into pigeon. So drawing the right knee up towards the right wrist. Checking the left kneecap is facing down, untucking the toes, and gently lowering down. Having the weight evenly distributed, so you haven't got the weight all on your right hip or the hip of your bent leg. Just pause here, observing any difference from this side to the other side. Try and encourage the whole of the body to soften and to relax with the breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Now when you're ready, very gently on your next breath in, we'll start to come back onto the forearms. Slowly make your way up. We'll bend the left knee, either taking hold of a strap, stretching towards the foot, or if you have the flexibility, very gently encouraging the heel towards the hip. Pausing here, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Very gently, 1 more deep breath in. As you exhale, very gently release the foot, nice and slow and controlled, lowering the leg down. Support the weight of the body, come onto the knees to make your way into downward facing dog. So walking up the legs, bending one leg and the other. Nice slow breathing. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose, trying to really stretch along the back of the legs, back of the calves. Stretching also around the feet and around the toes. This is a nice stretch for the back as well. So you can twist the torso from side to side. Now walking the feet and the hands into the center of the mat to come into a standing forward fold. And again, bending and straightening the legs. You can hold the back of the calves, the back of the thighs, back of the ankles, wherever you can reach. And then just pausing here. And again, working towards bending and straightening the legs, so helping to tighten and release the muscles in the legs. Nice slow breathing. Pausing just for a few breaths, and then very gently make your way back onto your knees. So a good way to practice the split so you're nice and supported is to have either some pillows or a bolster with some blocks at different heights. So I'm going to show you at one height. You can have more blocks underneath your bolster or a couple of pillows, something that's firm. And then we'll use the smaller blocks to help with your balance. So bending the left leg, the knee above the ankle, and tucking over the toes of your right foot. We're going to bend and straighten one leg and then the other. So starting bending the first leg and straightening the back leg, and then bend the back leg and straighten the front leg. So working one and then the other. So tightening and releasing all of the muscles in the legs. And then very slowly going to start to work to moving your front foot further away. Tightening and releasing the legs. And then very gently coming down to resting on the pillows or the bolsters. Checking that your kneecap behind you is facing down. Check that your hips are facing forward. And just pause here for a few breaths. So always make sure that you're a comfortable height, that you feel nice and supported. Taking a few slow breaths here. We'll come into a twist, so bringing the right hand on the outside of the left thigh. Very gently twisting towards the left, helping to relax the back, relax the legs. And then we can bend the back leg. If you can't reach the back foot, we can use the strap around the ankle and gently hold wherever feels comfortable. So this is going to help to release the stretch in the front of your right thigh. So when you can eventually take hold of the ankle, very gently opening the chest, looking up to the ceiling, and pausing for a few breaths here. Nice slow breathing. Very slowly release that leg down. We'll come into a forward fold. So take a breath in, and as you exhale, using your blocks at different heights, you can very slowly lower down. And pause here. So this is stretching more now on your front leg, on the back of the left leg. So it's nice to practice both, even though you may not be able to lower completely flat into the splits. It's nice to practice different variations to gently stretch the body, supporting the weight coming up. To come out of the pose, support the weight on the bolster and very slowly bringing back the front leg. And we'll do the same on the other side. So stepping now the left foot forward, supporting the weight on the block, and we'll bend and straighten each leg. So bending one leg as you straighten the other, very slowly, sliding the front foot forward each time, very gently. Keep breathing, nice slow breaths. And then eventually come down to resting on the bolster or the pillow. So you may have them at different heights on each side of the leg, depending on your flexibility. Check the kneecap is facing down. Bring your hands onto your hips. Check the hip bones are equal, both facing forward. Bring the left hand on the outside of the right knee. Very gently twist towards the right. And pause here, observing where you feel this stretch. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale, slowly come to the center, and we'll exhale. Bending your left knee, you can take hold of the strap if you can't reach the foot. And very gently hold onto the strap. Or with time, you can work towards holding the ankle. And then we'll inhale, looking up towards the ceiling. Very gentle back bend, nice slow breathing, and we'll gently release the leg. Take one more breath in, and on your exhale, we'll come into a gentle forward fold. So supporting the weight of the body either on the blocks or on the floor, depending on how your body feels. Just pausing for a few breaths here, so observing which feels more relaxing, folding forward or stretching, holding the back leg, and noticing if there's any difference on one side to the other. So on your next breath in, slowly coming up, very gently support the body in coming out of the position. So I'm just going to go here, because many videos for doing the splits shows you how to go into the split straight away, whereas doing the splits takes a lot of time and a lot of practice. So walking out the legs. So the more you practice, the more you can lower each block down and then just onto the bolster. It's very important to understand that you need regular, constant practice to see results. So now coming onto your back, drawing your knees into the chest, give them a good hug. Gently rock from side to side, massaging your back. And then we can bring the hands onto the knees and circle the knees in one direction. Keep breathing in and out through the nose and then very gently changing the other direction. Nice slow breathing. And then we'll give the knees a good squeeze. And then very gently, when you're ready, lowering the legs down. So bringing the soles of the feet onto the mat and then straightening out one leg and the other and coming to rest. So it's very important after you've stretched to rest the body, close the eyes, just observe any differences in the body. So it's very important when stretching the body to keep very hydrated. So make sure for the rest of the day you drink lots of water. This will help improve your flexibility. And remember to have patience with yourself. Go very gently into all of the poses. So gently. Allow the breath to follow its natural rhythm. I'd recommend following this practice with a guided relaxation if you have the time to help you deeply relax. Allowing the body now to just soften. Take 1 or 2 more slow breaths in, filling the body with oxygen and energy. And then on your next breath in, as you exhale, gently bend the knees, draw them into the chest, give them a hug, gently rocking from side to side, and then rock completely onto your right hand side. Pause for a moment, and then come up and find a comfortable position. You can sit on a block or a pillow if it feels more comfortable. The eyes closed, just take a moment just to observe how you're feeling. Always remember to thank yourself for dedicating time to you and your own well-being. This will help you to continue regular practice. So I'd recommend practicing this a few times a week. If you want to see results, I recommend practicing it daily, as well as with other of my yoga videos, which you can find on my YouTube channel, Sarah Lane Therapies. Very gently blinking the eyes open, we'll bring the hands in front of the heart, and we'll finish with Namaste. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please like and share this video if you have enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you when you're practicing again tomorrow. Goodbye.